This tutorial is for the Autumn Breeze pouch pattern, available at soluxfabric.com and fine quilt shops everywhere. Here you can see that I'm cutting the leaf print from a charm square or a 5-inch square, and I've chosen some prints that are fairly small scale and tonal in nature because the blocks will finish at a pretty small size. And so a really large print would get lost in the small scale of the block. Following the directions in the pattern, you're going to cut 6 different leaf prints as well as background, which will serve as the exterior or main body of the pouch. You can see here that I'm going to use a pencil to make a mark on the wrong side of some of the background squares following the pattern. These will be used to make half square triangles as well as to clip some corners for some of the leaf body sections. Before you go to your sewing machine, you'll want to make sure that you have all the pieces lined up with the diagonal lines oriented in the proper direction, and you're ready to make half square triangles that you're going to trim down. And then I usually will always take the time to trim these rectangular pieces as well, just in case they got a little bit wonky when I was sewing those corner triangles. Here you can see that I'm working on a stem unit for a leaf block, and I'm going to begin by adding corner triangles to 2 opposite corners of a square, and then I'm going to come back, trim that down, and add one more corner square, this time with the leaf print. And then once you have that piece, you are all set to begin sewing the leaf together. And this particular leaf block comes together in 3 rows, and then you join the rows to complete the block. We're going to need a total of 6 blocks for this particular project, 3 for each side of the pouch. And once you have the blocks made, you'll then begin adding background strips and squares to build out the exterior of the pouch. And this comes together in columns with a side border to complete the pouch front. And you can arrange the leaves as you like, so they could all go in one direction, or you can alter them in different directions like I've done here. Once you have the exterior panels pieced, it's time to get them quilted up, and you can see here that I like to spray baste to soft and stable and then head over to my machine. For this particular project, I enjoy using some wavy lines with my walking foot, and this just kind of makes it feel breezy, like the name, Autumn Breeze. And then you're going to follow the directions in the pattern to trim these down to size. The pattern includes instructions for trimming the pouch and creating cutouts in the corners so that we can box the bottom once we've sewn it together. The next step is to make 2 zipper tabs to enclose the ends of the zipper, and you're going to trim that to size as directed in the pattern, and then we'll be ready to install the zipper and put the pouch together. You can see here that I've got the zipper face down on top of one of the exterior pieces, and I'm clipping that in place, and then I'm going to come back across that and put the lining face down on top. If you're new to sewing zippers, I would suggest that you baste the zipper in place before adding the lining. And you'll notice that I like to install the zipper with the exterior side or my quilted side on top. I find that my lining and layers will move a little bit less when I do this. Once you get close to that zipper pull, you're going to stop and move that out of the way, and then keep on stitching down to the end of the side. The next thing I like to do is to top stitch these layers in place to make sure that they stay nice and neat and to keep the lining from getting caught in the zipper teeth during use. So I fold that lining back around so that it is wrong sides together with the exterior, and finger press that well. You can also press it at your iron if you prefer. And then I'm just going to come down and do a line of stitches here to secure all those layers. You're going to add the opposite exterior and lining to the zipper just as you did before. Do some top stitching, and then we're ready to put our pouch together. Make sure that your zipper is open and then manipulate the bag so that the exterior pieces are right sides together and the lining pieces are right sides together. You're going to pin and clip those in place and then sew all the sides closed. With the exception of the bottom of the lining, you want to be sure to leave some space, roughly 3.5 inches in the middle of the bottom of the lining so that we can turn the pouch later. To box the corners, we're going to just pinch the opening closed and line up the side and the bottom seam. I will usually clip the sides just to kind of hold that in place so that it doesn't shift too much. And we're going to do this on all 4 corners. Be sure to backstitch at the beginning and the end when boxing the corners. Once you have the corners done, it's time to turn the pouch right sides out and finish it up. So you're going to gently push it through the hole in the bottom of the lining, push out the corners, and then you can close the lining hole by hand or machine, whichever you prefer. We hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and we invite you to like and subscribe to our page and visit soluxfabric.com.